Reggie, do any of Paul's letters to the Thessalonians contribute in a special way to our Christian theology, and what would we be missing in their absence?
That's a great question, Michael. There's some really fun stuff in the letters to the Thessalonians, and we would really be missing some good stuff if they weren't here. In the first place, there's nowhere else in Scripture that addresses directly the fact that those who have already died are going to precede those who are on the earth when the Lord comes back again. So there's great comfort for those of us who have lost loved ones, that we need to recognize that they are at no loss for having died. And then from Thessalonians, Paul does some teaching in Philippians 1 and in 2 Corinthians 5 about the fact that those who have died are present with the Lord, but even they are waiting until the Lord comes back again. But the real contribution of the Thessalonian letters is just to let us know that we can be encouraged, because those who have already died in the Lord are not gone, and that they will be with us. They will be with us. They will be with the Lord. In fact, they will go before those who are still on the earth. Secondly, he lets us know that we don't have to figure it all out about when he's coming back. He says he will come back. There will be this great epiphany. There will be this parousia. And between now and then, there's stuff that's going to just have to get worked out. And we can relax and we can let the Lord take care of that. Meanwhile, we can go about doing our jobs, living for the Lord. And the third thing that Paul does in this letter that's really helpful, and I wish had been paid more attention to over the history of the church, is in warning about people who are obsessed with the Lord's concern. He addresses two problems that often come up when people get all hot and bothered about the Lord's return. In the first place, in chapter 4, as soon as he raises the question about times and seasons, he talks about the need not to engage in sexual misbehavior. He talks about living with integrity and holiness in that aspect of your life. And unfortunately, often when leaders get into this real speculative stuff about when the Lord's coming back again, in the back door, they are starting to abuse their relationship to make improper sexual advances and break down all kinds of normal rules for how men and women are to treat one another. And the second thing that he talks about is people are stopping working. And he says, no, you need to keep working with your hands. So the one problem is just something that he's kind of anticipating that could happen, sexual misbehavior, and kind of warning people off of. But the other is something that has actually come up in these communities where people are not working anymore. They're just sitting back, letting everybody else take care of them while they just wait for the Lord to return. And it's really nice to have Paul already speaking to these kinds of problems that come up often when people get into speculation about the end times.